Let's walk and talk about the most absurd news I've read, perhaps since the election. It was a poll that was done asking people who should run in 4 years, who should try to be our president. And one of the people they polled was Hillary Clinton. Should she run again in 4 years? And the good news, 62% of the people polled said, no, I don't think that's a good idea, which leaves a significant portion who are kind of thinking about it. What the hell are you talking about? We just went through a terrible experience. I'm gonna be honest, whether you liked Hillary Clinton or you hated Hillary Clinton, or you were like me and you really don't like her, but you acknowledged that she was a far better choice for the country than Donald Trump, regardless of which group you were in, the idea that we would launch into that again? What are her conflicts of interest and inherent problems as a candidate gonna go away in the next 4 years? No, there's going to be a whole new set of scandals to have to deal with, and emails are going to be released, and problems with her foundation and all of that. Why the hell is that even being polled at this point? I'm not actually against polling, I'm not against getting more information, but the idea that a significant portion of the country is thinking about this and don't think it's a terrible idea is ridiculous. There were other scary things in the polls. Apparently, more people are excited for Joe Biden to run than for Bernie Sanders to run. Now, I don't know at this point if Bernie Sanders is even going to be able to run. Dude's really old. Now, he's exactly as old as Joe Biden, which most people don't seem to know, and that is weird when you look at them, because Joe Biden definitely has a sort of younger aura to him, and I really hope that Bernie Sanders keeps it together health-wise and all of that over the next 4 years, because I do think that we need him. He's like Obi-Wan Kenobi, and we will need him all the more in 4 years. But the people are still thinking about some of these old names, that Hillary Clinton would possibly run, that we already know she can't beat Donald Trump. And it's entirely possible, I will acknowledge this, it is possible that after 4 years of Donald Trump, the American people will be as horrified as they should have been the first time around, as horrified as I was and am right now. That is possible. It's also possible that after he puts a ton of his crazy fascist policies into play, that more of the latent authoritarians among us in America will be even more on his side. And they'll love the Christian supremacy that they've seen, and they'll want 4 more years of that. That's entirely possible. Either way, she is not the person to run. I don't know if I would actually check out from politics, but that might be one of the few things that would actually bring it on. Look, Joe Biden, he's his own problem. He's his own thing. I would have gladly paid money to have him be the candidate in 2016 rather than Hillary Clinton. I will say that up front. But he has his own problems. And I think that kind of like how some people will do anything for Donald Trump and accept anything because they think that he's charming, I think that Joe Biden's got a bit of that on our side too. He's got his own problems. He's not some like anti-corporate crusader. And he's also not necessarily the smartest person in the country. I think that he's far smarter than Donald Trump, but he's got his own issues. But I know, maybe this polling is a part of the media academic establishment trying to get out in front of strong progressive challengers that might pop up in 4 years, or if Bernie Sanders is able to run in 4 years, maybe this is one of the ways that they're trying to ward that off. What's interesting is that Chris Hayes has been doing these like town hall style meetings with Bernie Sanders, which I wish that they had been as eager to cover him back during the primary as they were after it really mattered. But it does show that Bernie Sanders isn't fading off into the shadows, and this would be a great way. If he were to continue to do this for the next 4 years, that would be a great way to ready the country for him to finally run in 2020. But goddamn that poll, man. That was a couple of days ago, and I can't stop thinking about it. That there's a significant portion of the country that hasn't learned from this last election. Anyway, I'm going to keep an eye on the polls. That was the most absurd news that I've seen over the course of the past week. Let me know what you think. What was the most absurd thing that you saw in the news?